Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Walter Brown Arena on the campus of Boston University in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you today's Division II high school varsity girls hockey contest between the visiting Raiders of Wellesley High School and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. As you can see, the Zamboni making its last rounds around the ice before the players come out for their warm-up skates. This game a potentially important one for both teams. Brookline comes into this game with a 3-13 overall record on the year, and they are currently ranked 45th in the power rankings in Division II of the MIAA, while Wellesley comes into this one with a solid 8-5-2 record, currently sitting as the 25th seed in Division II. So Wellesley hoping to keep things going strong in the win column and further secure their spot in the upcoming postseason. Brookline hoping for an upset win that might vault them a few spots up the power rankings. Brookline is riding high off of their third win of the season collected last Saturday against rival Newton North. Brookline won on the road 4-2. Avenging an earlier 6-4 loss this season. Zamboni about to finish its final rounds around the ice, and we're about to get this one underway, or at least get the warm-up skates started and have the players come out onto the ice. Remember, as always, if you enjoy this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams, which includes all home games for Brookline High girls and boys hockey here at Walter Brown for the rest of this winter season. I know we're in the last couple of weeks, and we've still got some hockey season left, so be sure to stay tuned for future upcoming home games here at Walter Brown. Subscribing to the channel can help. And of course, if there's anything you would like to say, I encourage you to say it in the live chat over on your right if you are watching this on a computer. It can be as simple as Go Brookline or Go Wellesley, whoever it is you're rooting for. You can shout out your favorite player out on the ice. Let us know where you're tuning in from. That's always fun to hear with these online live streams that can be watched all over the world. And more importantly, if you notice any technical difficulties with the stream, or if you notice me messing up anyone's names, particularly on the Wellesley side, as this is my first time covering Wellesley girls hockey this season, so I might mess up the pronunciation of some names, or maybe my roster's wrong somewhere, I encourage such corrections to be made in the live chat. The Zamboni is off the ice, and now coming out onto the ice are the visitors in their black and red jerseys, the visiting Wellesley High Raiders. With the Raiders out on the ice, coming out behind them, right behind the officials, are some members of the home team. Here they come, the hosting Brookline High Warriors. Now with the teams out on the ice, let's take a look at the rosters for the two squads coming in to play today. Let's start with the visitors over here on the right, the Wellesley High Raiders. Going in order of jersey number for Wellesley, first off we have a junior, number 1, Magnus Saunders. Next, a senior, number 3, Sophie O'Sullivan. A senior, number 4, Ellie Mall. A sophomore, number 5, Olivia Camella. A sophomore, number 7, Emery McGraw. A freshman, number 8, Caitlin Hamburger. A freshman, number 9, Charlotte McDonough. A senior captain, number 10, Rory Morton. A freshman, number 11, Christina Garcia Miller. A senior captain, number 12, Reese Griffin. A freshman, number 13, Mia Prahl. A freshman, number 14, Margaret Redgate. A freshman, number 15, Michelle Kai. A junior, number 16, Sophia Ween. A sophomore, number 17, Evelyn Kohenen. A sophomore, number 18, Anna Turner. A freshman, number 19, Eliza Hamlin. A senior, number 20, Kate Lindquist. A junior, number 21, Lauren Thomas. A sophomore, number 22, Michelle Wong. A freshman, number 27, Catherine Ventura. A junior, number 30, Paige Burke. And a freshman, number 31, Tess Bassett. Head coach of the Wellesley High girls hockey team is Bob McDougall, with assistant coaches Jill Morales, Tom Hammond, and Jess Knapp. So that's the roster for the visiting Wellesley Raiders. Again, if there are any Wellesley fans watching the live stream and you notice me flubbing anyone's names, please correct me in the live chat. But for now, let's move over here and take a look at the hosting Brookline High Warriors. Again, in order of jersey number, first off, we have a sophomore, number 1, Aurora Charbonneau. A freshman, number 2, Emma Lurie. A sophomore, number 4, Casey McCarthy. A senior captain, number 7, Julia Janowski. A senior, number 8, Grayson Davis. A senior captain, number 9, Riley Lackey. A senior, number 11, Sophia Hauser. A senior, number 12, Sophia Schneider. A sophomore, number 13, Shayna Chin. A freshman, number 15, Clara Tebow. A senior, number 16, Maggie Coffey O'Reilly. A sophomore, number 17, Izzy Pace. A sophomore, number 18, Sujin Koo. A sophomore, number 21, Etta Reed. A senior, number 22, Diane Lee. A freshman, number 24, Caroline Hughes. A sophomore, number possibly changed to number 26, though normally wearing number 25, Birdie Hawkins. A senior, number 27, Tina Chang. A senior, number 35, Rozzy Carew Lyons. A junior, number 37, Meredith Allen. And a senior, number 77, Jenna Rosetto. Head coach of the Brookline High girls hockey team is Nick Sama, with assistant coaches Mark Haley and Carly Radovich. Well, there's the roster for Brookline. It is Brookline against Wellesley. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan at Walter Brown Arena, and you are watching Brookline High Hockey.
Tebow takes it back, backhand pass, gets up to Janowski, winds and fires and scores! Janowski tries a backhander, misses her target, but against the Hauser. Hauser, a long shot, and that one is in! Now stolen away, a pass to Chin. Chin fires and scores! Shayna Blankstein Chin! Open chance, Izzy Pace, off to the races, shot, score! Izzy Pace ties it up!
All right, the two teams huddling up. We will not be having starting lineups or the national anthem here today. We're just going to get right to the action. We see sliding over to the net for Wellesley, freshman netminder number 31, Tess Bassett. Among their starters, I see number 3, Sophie O'Sullivan, number 4, Ellie Mall. I see number 12, Reese Griffin, number 7, Emery McGraw, and number 8, Caitlin Hamburger. Those appear to be the starting 5 skaters for Wellesley. For Brookline, heading to the net, number 35, Rosie Carew-Lyons. Getting ready to take the face-off appears to be number 18, Sujin Koo. Defensive pairing of Riley Lackey and Jenna Rosetto. There's the face-off. It is controlled by Brookline. Grayson Davis passes it back to Riley Lackey, who moves it through the neutral zone. We are underway here in the first period. Skating with it now is Sophie O'Sullivan, pushes it into the Brookline end. Around the corner it goes, and Lackey pushes it around the back for Caroline Hughes. Hughes couldn't corral it cleanly, but instead it's going to be taken around the back by Jenna Rosetto, trying to fend off the forecheck as it gets pinned to the boards. It squirts out and is taken by Davis. Davis passes up for Koo, but it's knocked away from her, sent back to the Brookline end, now back out to the neutral zone. Hamburger launches it to the corner. Off the ricochet, it's taken by Rosetto. Rosetto sends a pass up, finds Davis, as Wellesley makes a line change, and Davis sends a pass through to Hughes. Hughes poked away just as she was about to cross the blue line, and it's pushed all the way up the line to Brookline's end, where it's taken by Sophia Hauser after a defensive line change. Hauser trying to weed through, stolen away, turned aside by Carew-Lyons, and that shot was blocked by Etta Reed. A huge chance for Rory Morton, but couldn't put it in the back of the net. Now another long shot blocked by Hughes this time, as that shot was coming from number 13, Mia Prahl. Goes back to Morton, shot blocked again, recovered around the back by Reed. Reed tries a pass, intercepted, sent around the boards by number 5, Olivia Comella. Now a long clear from Brookline, and that's going to miss the net and be icing. So Wellesley putting on the pressure early in this one. Remember, the possession game is oh so important in hockey. As we see both teams make some changes before we get this face-off. Face-off gets tangled up, sent to the near side boards where they're still scrumming for it, gets knocked back, now sent forward, and it's poked away by Shayna Chin and recovered by Jenna Rosetto. Rosetto sends it around for Lackey, now up to Julia Janowski, up the middle, finds Chin, and now it's picked up by Izzy Pace, trying to force it past the blue line, but gets swarmed by a bunch of black jerseys, and it's taken away by Prahl. No, my correction, Reese Griffin. Now it's back around to Griffin. Griffin sends it along the back to Ellie Mall. Now around the corner, kept in the attack end by Chin. Recovered by Mall. Mall sends it around. It's kicked and recovered, but a poke check knocks it loose. Attempted clear, does barely get past the blue line, and now skating with it into the end is number 21, Lauren Thomas. Thomas sends it into the Brookline end during a line change as Brookline starts getting on the move, but a poke by Sophie O'Sullivan knocks it loose, and now Brookline's making a change. Pass across, finds McGraw. McGraw passes up the middle, finds Hamburger, who tries to give it to O'Sullivan, but a little too far. Chased down by McGraw, back to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan couldn't fight through multiple defenders and is still being scrummed for. Goes all the way back, long shot, knocked down by Hamburger. Almost gave herself a big chance to score, but couldn't complete it. McGraw with the puck now. Skating around the corner, sends a long pass back, and it's intercepted. That's Grayson Davis. Davis skating with it, launches it, turned aside by Bassett. Hughes tried to chase down the rebound, but Mia Prahl gets there first. Still tangled up, now sent off the boards. Etta Reed keeps it in the Wellesley end, but not for long as McGraw kicks it into the neutral zone. McGraw sends it to the Brookline end, kicked down by Sophia Hauser. Hauser moves it through the neutral zone. The deflection prevents the icing call as Brookline is making a full change. It's sent around the boards, a bit stuck against the boards. The pass goes through, taken away, Chin shot, just goes wide. Recovered around the back, Clara Tebow, backhander walled off by Bassett. Now moving it into the neutral zone is number 5, Olivia Comella. Sent back to the Wellesley end where it's stopped by Bassett. Left for Prawl. Prawl goes around the back and passes it back to O'Sullivan. Long pass intercepted. Janowski launches a shot. No, it's not saved. It is in! Julia Janowski puts Brookline on the board first. The wrister glove side would not be stopped. And the captain has put the Warriors on the board early here in the first. 10:52 still on the clock here in the first period, and it's 1-0 Brookline. This one pushed wide of the net, goes around the back. Rosetto takes it, sends it to the far side boards where it's taken by Janowski. Janowski sends it around, taken by Tebow. Tebow's pass deflected and taken by Griffin. Griffin backhands it forward, finds, I believe, number 19, Eliza Hamlin. It's pushed to the back. Rosetto moves it to the corner where it's taken by Hamlin. Hamlin gets tangled up along the boards with some Brookline defenders. Now it's taken. Backhand shot is in! They answer right back! That was number 10, Rory Morton, launching the backhander top shelf from close range for the equalizer. Boy, it's looking like we're going to be in for a game tonight, folks. Less than 5 minutes into this one, we've already gotten a score from both teams. 1-1 now the score. Off the faceoff, it's pushed forward, and Bertie Hawkins moves it into the Wellesley end. Taken around by Prawl, but blocked around the back by Izzy Pace. Tried to send a pass through, but was walled off. Taken now by Thomas. Thomas gains the blue line. Long shot stopped by Carew Lyons. Couldn't cover it up. It's still loose. Attempted clear, walled off, but it keeps being pushed forward and now out to the neutral zone. And a long push down to the Wellesley end is going to be icing. We've got our first comment in the live chat from John Glover. Dude, you rock. Thanks for calling the BTA B-ball games. You're the best. Keep up the good work. And wow, that was amazing. Happy to see fans from some of the other teams I cover tuning in. And yeah, that was, both goals were really quite stellar. Long shot misses wide off the faceoff. Chased down by Griffin. Griffin turns around, backhands it. Turned aside by the stick of Carew Lyons. Reed tries to move it forward. Ricochets. Again, taken. Hamburger shot. Glove saved by Carew Lyons. She was almost screened by her own defender, but still found the puck with her glove. Face-off is controlled for a second by O'Sullivan, but she pushes it wide. Chased down by Tebow. Sent off the boards. Ricochets. And finally taken by Janowski. Pass to the middle, goes off the skate of Chin and out of her reach. Chased down by Griffin. Moved off the boards. Recovered by Rosetto. Passed across to Janowski. Pass to the middle again, misses Chin. Recovered by Griffin. Griffin sends it up to McGraw. Long pass broken up by Janowski. And now Chin recovers this one. Poke check knocks it loose by Mall. And now off the boards taken by O'Sullivan. One-on-one skate. Fires a shot. Misses wide. Well defended by Rosetto on that play. In the corner, it's taken by Rosetto. Passed across to Lackey. Lackey sends it up to Janowski. Janowski tried to force a pass through but couldn't. And now Morton sends it to the back. Getting tangled up with Lackey now. And now still further scrumming along the boards, and it's controlled by Rosetto, who sends it around the corner, gets away, and into the neutral zone where it's taken by Prawl. Prawl sends it off the boards, goes off a skate, but it is knocked into the Brookline end where it's taken by Rosetto. Cleared out, going up the line, and deflection means no icing. So it's going to be taken by number 9, Charlotte McDonough. Knocked back, and we got a delayed penalty. This is going to go against Brookline. Wellesley trying to go on the empty net, but they're not going to have time as that one is taken by Hauser, and that will trigger the penalty. I think they're going to say that Bertie Hawkins went high on that check. And so that will be a 2-minute minor for Brookline, and the first power play opportunity belongs to the Raiders. Off the face-off, it's controlled by Izzy Pace, but lost control of it, stolen away by McGraw. A couple passes go back and handled at the point by Griffin. Griffin passes it down. Long shot saved by Carew Lyons off the shot from Comella. Face-off. Controlled by Wellesley. This is Griffin from the point, passing it down to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan shot, redirected wide. Now taken away, but loose puck is taken by Mall. Poked away from her, recovered by Griffin. Shot blocked by Davis. Recovered by Hauser, who backhands it back out to the neutral zone, where it's taken again by Griffin. Griffin pass finds Mall. Mall gives it up to Comella. Comella on the approach, down the right side, turns back around, sends a pass through, broken up and stolen. This is Grayson Davis, and Davis skating across the blue line. Long shot is scooped up by Bassett and dumped off for O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan passes across. Gaining the blue line is Comella. Comella sends a pass back to Mall. Mall turns around, passes back to Comella. Comella backhands it back to Mall. Mall approaching shot, misses wide, might have been turned aside by Carew Lyons. Recovered by O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan turns around, lost the puck. It's wrestled away by Sujin Koo. Sent all the way down to the Wellesley end. Bassett sends it off the boards. Griffin trying to take it. Janowski on the forecheck. And Janowski knocks it all the way back to the back end where it's taken by Mall. Mall's pass kind of whiffed. Shayna Chin takes it but lost her footing and just has to send it around the corner. Taken now by Griffin. Griffin sends a long pass up to Comella. Comella gains the blue line, weaving across, turning around, pass back, shot, redirected in! A beautiful redirect by Emery McGraw off the shot/pass from Mia Prawl. And the power play goal gives Wellesley a 2-1 lead. There were just 6 seconds left on that penalty, but Wellesley was able to take advantage of the power play and take the lead here in the first period. 5:53 on the clock here in the first. Wellesley leads Brookline 2-1. Off the face-off, it's taken by Pace, pushed into the Wellesley end. They're scrumming for the puck. Pace comes down the corner, trying to move it along, but got outnumbered, and it's taken back by Prawl. Prawl sends a long pass up, finds her target. Now it's pushed into the Brookline end. Heading towards the corner, chasing it down is Thomas. Thomas holding it in the corner, backhands it back to Prawl. Prawl shot well wide. Going around the corner, controlled by McDonough, sent up for number 16, Sophia Ween, who sends it across, but too much traffic. Hughes comes out with it, gets it into the neutral zone despite ricocheting off a body. It's sent back to the Brookline end where it's taken by Reed and sent across to Hauser. Hauser lifts it up too high, bounces past Hughes as Prawl sends it back to the Brookline end, taken again by Reed and passed across to Hauser. Hauser lifts it forward to Hawkins. Hawkins lost it. It's taken away by O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan gains the blue line, trying to stay with it, getting tangled up with a couple of Brookline players and lost her footing as the Warriors take the puck back. It's pushed over to Hughes. Hughes launches it into the Wellesley end as it goes around the corner. It's taken by Hamburger. Now left for O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan sends it around the back to Griffin. Now a long pass up, chased down by Hamburger. Gets past the defender. Hamburger coming across. Shot saved by Carew Lyons. That was a dangerous chance there for Caitlin Hamburger, as now a ricochet gives Hamburger another chance, but too much traffic as it's cleared out to the neutral zone by Brookline. Ellie Mall controlling it, lifts it high into the Brookline end. And it's taken off the boards by Lackey. Pass up, knocked away, and now Griffin pushes it down for Comella. Pass to the middle, broken up from Morton and taken by Lackey, but then taken away from her, but pushed forward by Davis. Brookline trying to make a full change. A bit dangerous, though, as Comella gains the blue line, passes it back to Morton. Long shot, glove saved by Carew Lions. Goal scores so far in a very exciting first period. Julia Janowski got Brookline on the board first, but Wellesley has responded with 2 unanswered goals, 1 by Rory Morton and 1 on the power play by Emery McGraw. Puck getting tangled up in the slot and now pushed to the corner by Janowski. Comella trying to move with it. It's knocked away but recovered by Morton. Morton passes back. Long shot is turned aside by Carew Lions. Rebound recovered. Morton trying to skate with it, but lost it in the corner to the defensive Chin. Hauser moves it along, but it's knocked back. Now Hauser trying to backhand it through a hole, but it's recovered by Prahl. Tries a push, broken up. Knocked back. Prahl takes it again. Long shot goes wide. Rebound recovered, sent through the middle, just turned aside by Carew Lions. Brookline trying to clear, but the forecheck keeps up the pressure. Pinned up against the boards, and it's taken by Wellesley again. Prahl launches it wide. Bounces off the back and comes back out. Comella's shot blocked. Comella recovers, approaches, shoots, saved by Carew Lions. Now sent around the corner. Brookline again trying to clear. Walled off by Prahl. Long insert well wide of the net. Deflects off Hauser, and Hauser takes it. Sends it off the body of a teammate by accident. It's not quite cleared out, but now it is cleared out by Janowski, and that's going to be icing. 2:11 on the clock here in the first period, and you can see what the possession game does on that sequence there. Brookline had to ice that puck just so they could make a line change and not leave their players out there too long and get gassed. That's what good forward pressure can do in this sport. In the neutral zone, Mall pushes it back to the Brookline end. Lackey takes it, pass across, deflects, but a friendly deflection, and now it's passed over to Pace. Pace, long shot blocked, and it bounces into the arms of Bassett. A face-off now in the Wellesley end. Is recovered out the back by Mall. Kind of whiffs on that pass, and now it's knocked up into the air. Pace downs it, sends it through the middle, but nobody was there. Lackey keeps it on the attack as it's recovered by Davis. Davis sends it around the back. Chasing after it is Thomas. Gets tangled up with Pace. Pace backhands it to the slot. Ricochet. And they're still fighting for possession. It is controlled by Thomas and pushed out to the neutral zone. Rosetto pushes it back in. Kicked down by Griffin. Back into the neutral zone it goes. Thomas sends it off the boards. Corralled by Pace. Passed across to Lackey. Pass goes up to Davis. Davis looking. Pass across. Koo pushes it deep into the Wellesley end as Brookline makes a line change. Sent around the corner for Mall. Mall tries to lift it out. Walled off. Long shot saved by Bassett. Kind of a sneaky shot there from Hauser. I don't think Bassett was expecting her to send that one in. Almost late to react, but ultimately able to make that save. 1:04 on the clock here in the first period. Face-off goes back to Reed. Attempted shot is blocked by McGraw, and McGraw takes it in the neutral zone. Tries to pass back. Clara Thibault applying the forward pressure along the boards, and taking it out is McDonough. McDonough, again, trying to fend off the forecheck, sends it off the boards up to McGraw. McGraw sends it across to Hamburger. Hamburger sends it back to the middle, but it's broken up by Thibault. Thibault now skating with it. Clara Thibault gets around one defender, but can't get around another, and the puck gets pinned to the boards. Into the corner, Thibault tried to pass, but couldn't get enough on it, and it's taken away by the Raiders. Hamburger pushes it into the Brookline end where it's chased down by Hauser. Hauser Sends it forward, skips past everybody, and that'll be icing against Brookline. 12.5 seconds. Wellesley holding a 2-1 lead. Face off, controlled by Brookline, sent to the corner, probably just hoping to kill out the last seconds of the period, but it is corralled by Wellesley, almost directed off a skate and in, but instead it's sent to the other corner. Pace just skating across with it to end the first period. We are through one here at Walter Brown. Our score, the Wellesley High Raiders 2, the Brookline High Warriors 1. A goal each from Rory Morton and Emery McGraw, giving Wellesley the lead. The lead over Brookline, who got their lone score from Julia Janowski. And good vibes coming in the live chat from Bill Brett and John Glover. These girls are good, nice, fast attack. Where is this, Canada? They're as good as pros. And then from Amy Lyons, go Rozzy Carew Lyons, watching from Nantucket. The Brookline netminder has made a few very nice saves so far today. And then from John Glover, Camilla and Hamburger are good at shooting. And indeed, Wellesley has put on a fine offensive performance in that first period. Now, during this first intermission, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Community Foundation. For over 100 years, the Brookline Community Foundation has been a trusted partner, supporting Brookline by investing in organizations and initiatives that help create opportunity and promote equity for everyone who lives, learns, works, and plays in our community. Among the foundation's many grant programs is the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School, which provides graduating BHS students with scholarships to help fund post-secondary education. To date, 81 BHS students have received scholarships from this fund to help them as they build their futures. Your support is crucial to supporting Brookline youth as they embark on the next steps in their educational journeys. Visit brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442 to learn more about the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School and the other great grants that you can support through the Brookline Community Foundation to help make a difference right here in Brookline. Once again, that's brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442. And remember, as always, you can find all that information linked to the website, phone number, down in the description section down below. But for now, we are in the midst of our first intermission, Wellesley 2, Brookline 1. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan at Walter Brown Arena, and I'll be back after a brief break off the mic. I'll be back with the second period, so stay tuned. Hello again, everybody. Back on the mic, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Walter Brown Arena on the campus of Boston University in Boston, Massachusetts. Giving you coverage of today's varsity high school girls hockey contest between the visiting Wellesley High Raiders and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. Through one, the Wellesley Raiders lead 2-1 as the Zamboni making its final rounds, and I'm happy to see more good vibes coming in the live chat from Mark McGraw. Jesse, you're a beast, brother. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Mark. I'm assuming a relationship between Mark and Emery McGraw, the sophomore forward who so far is credited with at least the go-ahead score, and of course if no scores change, it would be the game-winning score. That one coming on the power play off a very nice redirect, very well set up and executed between Mia Prahl on the assist and McGraw on the redirect score. The other goal for Wellesley came from Rory Morton, recovering a rebound close to the net, and although she didn't have much of an angle, she, launched a backhander high. Not everyone can do that at the high school level, so it was a very effective shot. And the goalie definitely wasn't ready for one to come top shelf from that close to the net, because that's a very hard angle to shoot at from that spot with really no space to build up the power of the shot. So very strong goal there. And then, of course, Brookline had the first goal of the game. That one scored by senior captain Julia Janowski. Just a very nice wrister from, about what you would call a mid-range shot in hockey, from somewhere inside the face-off circle. And really, shots from distance are sort of Julia Janowski's signature. For those of you who watched the intro video I had, you might have noticed the goal for her in the highlights was a long-distance slap shot. That's not a coincidence. Pretty much every goal I've seen Janowski score in the past couple of years covering this team has come from distance when it's scored by Janowski. That's really where her greatest strength is as an attacker. At least when it comes to goal scoring, because, of course, if you've been watching the game, she's also, a solid passer, good at helping her teammates move the puck along and try and win that possession game. Back out onto the ice come the Warriors. And right behind them, the Raiders. Well, don't get used to the teams being on the sides they're skating out in for their warm-up skates. They will be switching sides here in the second period. Wellesley will be going left to right, Brookline going right to left. And Brookline will be hoping to perhaps flip the script on the possession game, because while Brookline did get a few nice offensive possessions, for the most part, the game was being played in Brookline territory, as Wellesley kept up some very strong forward pressure. And, that kind of, you ask anyone who's played or coached or watched hockey for a significant amount of time, that pressure wears a team down. I mean, Brookline's defense has done a solid job. Yes, a couple of goals allowed, but the score could be much worse than it is, and they've done a pretty strong job, led by some good saves from Rozzy Carew-Lyons in net. But keeping up that forward pressure, I mean, just aside from the law of averages of if you launch enough shots, eventually one of them has to go in, aside from that simple logic, just the fact that, the team can't get out of their own end, their players have to take very long shifts while playing on their heels, and it takes a lot out of a team, and eventually those floodgates can open. It's sort of like, for those of you football fans out there, if you've got a really strong bell cow running back who you can just give the ball to 30 times, by the time the fourth quarter comes around, the defense is gassed and you're running them up for 10 yards a carry. That same thing can be applied here in hockey, and we're going to see what happens as this game goes. Here in the start of the second period, off the ricochet, it's controlled by Sophie O'Sullivan, but knocked away. Ellie Mall pushes it into the Brookline end. Jenna Rosetto sends it off the boards, recovered by Clara Thibault. Thibault with a nice move to give herself an opening, gains the blue line. Janowski on her left pass, intercepted. Good defensive last stand by Charlotte McDonough, or no, Ellie Mall, excuse me, I misread the numbers. O'Sullivan trying to fight her way through a couple of defenders, but can't do it as Wellesley makes a change, but O'Sullivan wrestles the puck away, turns around, tries to send a pass, couldn't get it through. Almost a big chance for number 19, Eliza Hamlin, but now it's going to be pushed into the Brookline end, sent around to Lackey. Riley Lackey sends it over to Thibault. Pass goes up to Shayna Chin. Chin finds an opening and passes it up to Julia Janowski. Janowski racing up with the puck. Being defended by McDonough. Pushed up against the boards, keeping the puck. Turning around, trying to jam it in, but it's covered up by Tess Bassett. A couple of really nice attacks from the Janowski-Chin-Thibault line, but nothing finds the back of the net. Off the face-off, it's ultimately corralled by number 13, Mia Prahl. Prahl had an assist on McGraw's score in the first period. It's moved to the neutral zone. Etta Reed tries to clear, but it's blocked down by Olivia Comella. Sent down to the backboards, taken by Reed. Reed sends it off the boards, recovered by Mall. Mall sends it around. All the way around, chased down by Rory Morton. Morton gets tripped up while pinned against the boards. It's recovered, sent through the slot, but nobody there to receive the pass from Sophia Ween. Chased down by Mall. Mall pushes it forward. Morton redirects over to Lauren Thomas. Thomas gets smothered on defense, and it's recovered by Etta Reed. Passed off the boards, finds Izzy Pace. Pace trying to drag it around. Knocked away from her, recovered for a second by Sujin Koo, now recovered by Pace. Shot goes in and saved by Bassett. Grayson Davis was there hoping for a potential redirect or a screen or something, but well covered by Bassett as Brookline applying some pressure here in the second period early. Faceoff goes right back to Janowski. Shot goes off the skate of Chin. Chased down in the corner by Thibault, gets pinned to the boards by Reese Griffin. Attempted clear, squirts out, but is taken back by Brookline. The push to the middle, redirects. Janowski, shot, saved by Bassett. Another great push by Julia Janowski. She's having herself a game so far. Another face-off right back to Janowski. Shot goes through this time, but saved by Bassett. Backhanded around the back to Thomas. Pass broken up, but it's in the neutral zone. Taken by Janowski, pass back to Lackey. Lackey whiffs on the pass, and it's knocked away by Ween, but then Rosetto manages to get a pass up to Thibault. Further pass, ricochets taken by Janowski and pushed down to the Wellesley end as Brookline makes a full change. Griffin chases down the puck, sends a pass out of reach of Ween, and it's taken by Sophia Hauser. Hauser pushes it forward, but it's taken back by Ellie Mall. Mall's pass goes off the skate of Thomas and is recovered by Izzy Pace. Pace gains the blue line, coming around, tried to take a pick, but a poke check from Griffin knocked it loose. Recovered now by Caitlin Hamburger. Gains the blue line. Hamburger, a shot, turned aside by Rozzy Carew Lyons. Into the corner it goes, where it's taken by Pace. Pace pass, redirected, taken by Hamburger. Shot, glove, saved by Carew Lyons. .11:41 still on the clock here in the second period. No score so far in the second frame. Still 2-1 Wellesley. Off the faceoff, it's knocked back, taken by McDonough, sent around the boards. Lackey backhands it along, taken by Davis. Davis sends it around the back, but jumping it is Emery McGraw. McGraw sends a pass back, finds Prahl. Prahl, long shot, saved by Carew Lyons. Juicy rebound hanging out there. And it's pushed in. Caitlin Hamburger. Wellesley takes a 2-goal lead off the putback score from the freshman, Caitlin Hamburger. And I believe that will be another assist for Mia Prahl as she launched the initial shot. 3-1, the Raiders now lead the Warriors. Face-off is sent back to Etta Reed. Reed tries to send it off the boards, but it's walled off by Comella. Now pinned to the boards. Coming out with it is Chin. Chin passes back to Hauser, now up to Janowski, but knocked away and sent deep into the Brookline end. Reed takes it out the back, tries a pass, knocked away. They send it back to Mall, send it forward to an open Comella, turns around, shoots, and just barely stopped by Carew Lyons. Janowski sends it around the back. Hauser chases it down, but it's wrestled away by the Raiders, taken by Griffin. Griffin sends it off the boards for Hamlin. Hamlin sends it back, finds Griffin at the point. Griffin again off the boards for Hamlin. Hamlin defended by Hauser, and Hauser sends a pass up to Janowski. Janowski lifts it up the boards into the neutral zone. Chased down by Rory Morton. Morton's pass goes off a skate and goes up to Hamlin. Hamlin sends it deep into the Brookline end as Wellesley makes a full change. Reed coming out with it, sends a long pass up, taking advantage of a change up to Birdie Hawkins. Hawkins pushes it into the Wellesley end, but it's taken. This is Prahl. Sends it down for Ween, who didn't time it best and now lost control of the puck. Grayson Davis racing after it. Shot saved by Bassett, and Davis couldn't control the putback, has to send it around. Taken back by Prahl. Prahl skating in transition. Prahl going end to end. She gains the blue line, gets around a defender, approaches, couldn't get the last crosser across the crease. Broken up by Carew Lyons and Riley Lackey. Brookline tries to clear. McDonough keeps it on the attack. Lauren Thomas shot blocked by Hawkins. Hawkins sends it off the boards, recovered by Prahl. Shot blocked again by Hawkins. Bouncing around the slot, recovered shot, turned aside. Recovered around the back, tries for the putback but had no angle. It's knocked into the corner, taken now by number 20, Kate Lindquist. Pass ricochets several ways. Ween tries a pass, goes off a skate, taken out the back by Lackey. Pass misses Hughes, recovered by Prahl. Prahl, long shot, turned aside by Carew Lyons. Recovered by Rosetto. Rosetto tries a backhand, got stuck on the back of the net. Rosetto recovers it, sends it up to Hughes. Hughes trying to force it through, but it's knocked away. Still on the Brookline end as Lackey takes it. The attempted clear is pushed up against the boards. Hamburger pushes it out, but Hawkins recovers, sends it up to Hughes. Hughes skating, gets checked, draws a penalty. And now Brookline will have their first chance on the power play as number 3, Sophie O'Sullivan, will go to the box. This will be a 2-minute minor with 8:33 still on the clock here in the second period. Face off is corralled by Wellesley. Reese Griffin sends it around. Hauser deflects it back forward. Mall tries to clear it back out. Now it's taken by Janowski. Passes forward to Clara Tebow, sends it through the middle, missed, and collected by Comella and cleared out. Hauser takes it, skates around and turns around and sends it over to Shayna Chin. Chin has to send it around the boards. The forecheck from Morton, rushing Brookline a bit on their approach as it gets pinned up against the boards, but recovered by Chin. Pass out of reach of Janowski. It's recovered by Griffin, sent back to the Brookline end where it's recovered by Etta Reed. Pass misses again, and it's recovered by Mall, sent up into the benches, and that will be a stoppage. From Bill Brett, both teams are really good. And I agree, we're seeing a pretty good hockey game here tonight. Currently, Wellesley holding a 2-goal lead at 3-1. Face-off controlled by Wellesley. Mall sends it around. Walled off by Lackey, pushed forward to Izzy Pace, tries to send one through the middle, deflected but recovered by Koo. Backhander is blocked by Griffin. Griffin's been doing a lot on defense for the Raiders so far tonight. Hauser tries an insert, couldn't fit one through though. Lackey sends it off the boards. Koo gets smothered by Maul, and it's up against the boards. Almost a clear chance for Lindquist, but it's kept on the attack. Pace skating around with it. Lost track of the puck, though, and Ween is going to clear it out. Parked by Carew Lions, taken by Lackey as both teams make some changes. Lackey sends it up the line, and it's sent right back out by Prawl. Stopped by Carew Lions and left for Rosetto. Rosetto sends it up the line, sent further ahead into the neutral zone, but it's recovered by Comella and sent back to the Brookline end. Now off the boards it goes, and the last seconds tick off of the penalty, and out of the box comes O'Sullivan. No shots on net for Brookline during that power play. Pushed out to the neutral zone. It is taken for a second by Hamlin, but now recovered by Morton and gains the blue line. Morton trying to fight around several defenders. Can't do it, and it's taken back by Hauser. Hauser skating out the back. Still skating with it through the neutral zone. Pass to the wing to Janowski. Janowski long shot turned aside by Bassett. In the corner, it's chased down by Janowski again. Janowski coming around the back. Poked away and recovered now by Comella. Comella trying to skate through, gets tangled up with Tebow, and it's knocked away but recovered. Now sent into the Brookline end by Prawl. Tangled up in the corner, Chin skating with it. Long pass intercepted by Prawl, pushed forward, kicked down. Hauser manages to push it to Janowski. Janowski sends it off the boards, finds Tebow. Tebow gains the blue line. Poke check from Prawl, knocks it loose, going around the back, and it's taken away by Wellesley as Brookline was making a line change. Chased down by Bertie Hawkins. Hawkins backhands it up to Caroline Hughes. Hughes pushes it forward, but it's knocked back by Griffin. Lackey skating with it, pass. Knocked away, goes into the neutral zone, taken by Griffin. Pass across to Maul. Maul sends it up to McGraw. McGraw sends it into the Brookline end as Wellesley makes a line change. Reed takes it out the back, pass up for Grayson Davis. Davis sends a pass forward, chased down by Caroline Hughes. Couldn't get past Reese Griffin, but the puck is knocked loose. Couldn't be recovered, though, and it's taken by Lindquist. Lindquist across the blue line. Fires a shot, saved by Carew Lions. 4:18 on the clock here in the second. The score, Wellesley 3, Brookline 1. The only goal of this period so far coming from Caitlin Hamburger. Face-off is pushed back. Long shot, glove saved by Carew Lions. Face-off controlled by Wellesley. Prawl's shot deflected high in the air and caught like an outfielder by Carew Lions. Face-off again knocked back to Prawl. Another long shot, again turned aside by Carew Lions. Comella controls the rebound. Backhand pass to Morton. Morton kicks it along the back, but too far, and it's chased down by Pace. Pass goes up, finds Koo. Knocked away by McDonough, recovered by Lackey. Pass across to Rosetto. Now up misses Casey McCarthy, and it's taken instead by Prawl, but Koo applying the forecheck. And now it's chased down in the corner by Pace, sent around the back, knocked away by Morton as they're wrestling for it up against the boards. Pushed around by Koo, but taken by Prawl, sent around the corner, kept in the Wellesley end by Rossetto, but the push forward is knocked away and taken now by Hamlin. Hamlin into the neutral zone, pushes it forward, pushed back by Lackey, and now Pace sends it into the Wellesley end as Brookline makes a bit of a change, but they have to hurry because here comes Prahl once again. Prahl gains the blue line, poked away, taken by Janowski, pass up for Chin, poked away by O'Sullivan, recovered by Pace. Pace backhand miss is Chin, and it's taken away by O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan weaving around, fires a shot, misses wide. Puck knocked in the air and taken off the ricochet by Hauser. Pass up, finds Janowski, defender slipped and fell. Janowski gains the blue line, but lost track of the puck as it's knocked loose along the boards. Into the corner it goes, taken by Griffin. Griffin's attempted clear, walled off by Chin, sent around the back, recovered by Mall. Mall sends it around, finds Hamburger, but it's broken up by Hauser. Mall recovers again, sends it around the other way for McGraw, now to O'Sullivan, now taken away by Tebow. Pass goes off a skate, and it's taken out the back by Mall. Pass up to Hamburger, got away from her, and it's knocked back into the Wellesley end. Shot from Chin is blocked by the body of Griffin. Griffin skating with it. Now sends a long pass up to McGraw. McGraw gains the blue line, one-on-one, turns around, passes back. One-timer shot kicked away by Hauser, recovered by McGraw, and left for Lindquist. Lindquist pushes it, but it's pushed right back out by Hauser, but I think that might be icing, and it will be. .134 left here in the second. Wellesley leads Brookline 3-1. Face off. Immediate shot from Sophia Ween is redirected wide. The attempted clear is stopped by McDonough. Off the boards, Rossetto sends it around. Chased down by Lackey. Pass up, redirected by Hughes. Chased after. Ricochet goes into the Wellesley end, and it's kept in the Wellesley end. Off several ricochets, but taken out to the neutral zone for a second by Ween. Knocked back to the Wellesley end. Now a long clear is recovered by Rossetto. Pass intercepted. This is Lindquist. Long shot turned aside by Carew Lyons. Chased down by Thomas. Pass through the middle. Lindquist couldn't get a backhander. Ween couldn't get a clean shot and just barely deflected away from Thomas. Hughes tries to clear, but it's walled off by Lindquist. Long shot from Prahl is walled off, recovered by Thomas. Too much traffic, though, and it's knocked away. Pass goes back. Long shot turned aside by Carew Lyons. Recovered by Thomas. Shot misses wide. Chased down by McDonough. Sent around the boards. Rossetto sends it back around Lackey. Moving it up the line. Pass, nobody there, and it's taken by Ween. Ween weaving through. Shot turned aside by Carew Lyons. Hughes recovers, sends a long pass up. Misses Izzy Pace, who is trying to take advantage of the line change. No icing called. They call it a deflection, and doesn't matter as that's going to end the second period. We are through two so far here at Walter Brown Arena. The score here in the second intermission, the Wellesley High Raiders 3, the Brookline High Warriors 1. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'm going to take another break off the mic for the second intermission, but I'll be back for the third and final period of this one. Stay tuned. Hello again, everybody. Back on the mic, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, here to bring you tonight's varsity high school girls hockey contest between Brookline and Wellesley. And with shipping up to Boston being played over the PA, you know we're about to enter the third and final period of this game. Current score, the visiting Raiders leading the hosting Warriors 3-1. On the back of a goal each from Rory Morton, Emery McGraw, and Caitlin Hamburger. So 1 goal from a senior captain and 2 goals from a pair of underclassmen. For Brookline, their lone score coming from their own senior captain in Julia Janowski back in the first period. That was actually the first goal of the game, and Brookline held an early 1-0 lead for about 40 seconds before Morton tied it up. And then later in the period, a power play goal from McGraw gave them the lead, and so far the Raiders have held that lead and also extended it with the second period's only goal on a putback score by Hamburger. And remember, if you're enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams, including all remaining home games for Brookline girls and boys hockey for the rest of this season. We've still got a couple weeks left in winter, folks, so be sure to stay tuned. Subscribing to the channel can help. And of course, keep those good vibes going in the live chat. We've got a lot of really kind messages from folks tuning in, which I like to see. You know, I like to see people giving their shout-outs, giving the props to these high school athletes. And any kind words people say to me, I also, you know, I'm not going to ask up for them because I'm not vain like that, but I do really appreciate them. They really do mean a lot, so thank you for those as well. And you could see some of the Brookline Warriors dancing along to the Dropkick Murphys there as they get hyped for this third period. As they know they're going to need a big push if they're going to get back in this one. Down 2 scores against a higher ranked team, a team you're supposed to lose to on paper. What will it take to get back in the game in a situation like this? We will see. Third and final period. About to get going. Just a second. Now the puck is dropped. And it's ricocheting every which way. And finally sent back to the neutral zone by Wellesley. Sent back to the Wellesley end by Riley Lackey. Sent back out. Controlled for a second by the Raiders, but the pass intercepted by Clara Tebow. Tebow lost it on the poke check, but chased it back down. Sends it through the middle, went off a skate, and nobody was there to receive it. Now this is Reese Griffin skating around the back, trying to clear, but Janowski walls it off, sends it around the back, but no teammates are there. It's collected by Emery McGraw. Long clear, sent back by Lackey, but recovered by Sophie O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan skating with it, pushes it deep into the Brookline end as Wellesley makes a full change. Jenna Rosetto sends the pass up to Janowski. Quick pass broken up and a shot launched wide by number 5, Olivia Comella. Recovered and passed back. Mia Prawl, long shot. Turned aside by Rosie Carew Lyons. Chased down by Rory Morton. Sends a shot wide. Tebow trying to get it out, but being pressured by Eliza Hamlin. Now several players up against the boards as Rosetto finally corrals it. Passes it over to Lackey and now up to Janowski. Up to Tebow, but couldn't stay with the puck as it's poked away by Prawl, but then recovered by Janowski. Janowski launches a long one, turned aside by Tess Bassett. Chased down by Charlotte McDonough in the corner. Sent around the boards for Comella. Comella lost it, but it's recovered by Prawl. Poke check by Caroline Hughes. Almost had a chance for Birdie Hawkins, but too much traffic. Now Hughes pushes it back into the Wellesley end. McDonough sends it around. Whiffed on the hit there, but Sophia Hauser keeps it on the attack end, sends it forward to Grayson Davis. Shot turned aside by Bassett. Rebound recovered off the ricochet by Davis, sends it off a stick, I think, and high into the air. Hauser trying to keep it on the attack, but it gets around her and is taken by Morton. Odd man rush here, 2-on-1. Morton takes the shot, saved by Carew Lyons. Man, it says a lot about the faith you've got in your goalie when you as a defenseman just immediately cover the other attacker, you know, the off-puck attackers, and leave your goalie to go one-on-one with a player essentially on a breakaway. That's just how much faith the Brookline defense has in their senior netminder, Rosie Carew Lyons, as this puck is being sent back and forth. Deep into the Wellesley end it goes, being chased down by Ellie Mall. Mall's attempted clear is stopped by Izzy Pace, sent around the boards and taken by Lackey, sent into the corner, where Mall takes it, tries to send it around the back, deflects right to Casey McCarthy, who couldn't get a clean shot off as it's taken away by Lauren Thomas. Thomas gains the blue line, fires a shot, and it's blocked by Rosetto. Thomas recovers, sends a pass out, ricochet, taken away. This is Pace. Pace couldn't fight through several defenders, but it's knocked into the Wellesley end. McCarthy sends a shot, goes wide. Koo chases it down. Suchin Koo's shot goes wide as well. McCarthy recovers, but her shot is ricocheted, sent off the boards, and it's taken now by Thomas. Thomas skating with it, gets through a defender, gains the blue line. Long shot misses high over the bar. Taken now by Pace, attempted clear, nobody there, but it ricochets off the stick of Prawl and is pushed forward by McCarthy. Taken now, this is Koo. Koo coming around, fires a shot, stopped by Bassett. Now it's taken back by Koo, backhander to Janowski, one-timer, glove save by Bassett. Good offensive persistence by Suchin Koo, and a nice just little touch pass off the backhand to Janowski for the one-timer. But a good glove save by Bassett, again, keeps Brookline out of the net. Wellesley end face-off is controlled for the moment by Brookline. Lackey sends it around. It's recovered by Mall. Mall sends it back the other way. As players get tangled up in the boards, it's sent off the back. Mall takes it again. Backhand pass goes up to Emery McGraw. McGraw skating pass up, but it's knocked away by Brookline, but it's recovered by O'Sullivan. Tries to send one through. Goes down to the back where it's taken by Lackey. Lackey pass finds Tebow, but it got away from her. Griffin's shot almost went off a defenseman's stick and in, but stopped by Carew Lyons. Keeping on the attack. Shot by O'Sullivan, point blank, saved by Carew Lyons. Griffin recovers, but it's pushed out to the neutral zone by Tebow. O'Sullivan sends it down to the back end, chased down by Rosetto. Rosetto coming around the back, pass up to Janowski. Janowski sends it up the line. Sent back out, recovered by Janowski. Off the deflection, it's taken by Shayna Chin, passed up for Janowski. Janowski kicks it across the blue line, tangled up with Hamlin, and it's knocked away. Bertie Hawkins trying to force it, and Janowski launches it into the Wellesley end as Brookline commits to the line change. Prawl skating with it, lost the puck, taken back, backhander by Davis. Juicy rebound, couldn't be knocked back still, and it's cleared out by Wellesley. Bassett put up a wall there as Brookline kept trying to jam it in on the putback, but couldn't find the back of the net once again. Olivia Comella approaching, shot, saved by Carew Lyons, who has had several of her own nice saves at this point. .9:24 left in this one. Face-off goes back to Mall, who pushes it forward to Thomas. Thomas weaves around one defender, pass back to Mall. Mall backhands it into the corner, taken off the ricochet by Reed. Etta Reed sends it around. More ricochets, pinned to the boards. Hauser tried to clear, stopped. Shot was blocked. Now out of the scrum, it's pushed back Controlled by McDonough. Sent off the boards, now taken by Ween. Now an attempted push is walled off by Carew Lyons. Wellesley keeping up the pressure here in the third period, up by 2 with less than 9 minutes left. Face-off won by Wellesley, but won a little too much as it goes back to the neutral zone. McDonough sends it off the boards, down to the Brookline end. Chased down by Lackey. Lackey sends it off the boards, redirected by McCarthy, and Koo sends it into the neutral zone. Chased down by Mall. Mall sends it up to the neutral zone again. A couple of ricochets, and ultimately controlled by Pace. Pace trying to drag it around, just lost the puck, but drew a penalty, and Brookline's going to get to go on the power play. Good penalty draw by Pace. She was going for the stick drag there, and she drew the hook from Ellie Mall. So now Brookline on the power play for the next 2 minutes. Their last time on the power play didn't go so well. They'll be hoping for a different result this time, but it doesn't start well on the face-off. Sent around the boards, but recovered by Chin. Ricochets to Tebow. Tebow couldn't knock one through. It's into the slot. Backhander by Janowski is forced wide. Attempted clear, stopped by Jenna Rosetto. Long approach is kicked to the side. Scrumming for it, Chin comes out with the puck. Chin turns around, passes to the corner for Tebow. Tebow backhands it back out to Rosetto. Quick shot, kicked away, and all the way down to the Brookline end. And now it's a breakaway chance for Rory Morton. Morton approaching, backhander. Did not go in. I think it went off the post and then settled between the legs of Rosie Carew Lyons. Just barely saved that one. That could have easily bounced off her blockers, bounced off her pads and into the net, but it didn't, as she managed to clamp it down and force a Brookline end face-off. Nearly a short-handed goal by Rory Morton. Griffin controls it off the face-off, and Wellesley's taking their sweet time as the shot is launched wide. Off the ricochet, controlled by Izzy Pace. Pace knocked away from her, but it's kept on the attack. Grayson Davis skating with it. Long pass up, finds Pace. Pace approaching, long shot is blocked. Attempted clear, stopped by Hauser. Pass goes up to Pace. Pace sends it down to Koo, tries to send it through the middle, ricochets. Back to Pace, backhander deflected high, and glove save by Bassett. You know, credit to Bassett on that play. I've seen those kinds of plays before where the shot gets deflected high to the point that it could potentially go over the goalie without them seeing and then into the net. Good eyes by Bassett on that play. Face-off controlled by Brookline, sent back. Sophia Hauser, long shot is blocked. Pass to Pace, through to Janowski. Janowski weaving through a backhander, save by Bassett. Janowski had that first period goal, and she's had several great scoring chances since then, but hasn't managed to put home a second goal yet. Face off, a quick shot turned aside by Bassett. And now this clear is going to go all the way down to the Brookline end. Just 20 seconds left on the penalty against Mall. Skating with it fast is Chin. Chin trying to go end to end, does get down to the Wellesley end, sends it off the back, redirected, but poked out by Bassett, recovered by Chin. Long shot. Oh, almost a juicy rebound in the slot, but it's cleared out by Wellesley. And this one's gonna go off the pole, so no icing, even though we are back at even strength. Recovered in the neutral zone by Prawl, sent into the Brookline end. Taken by Hauser, pass up the middle, finds Janowski. Now a pass to the wing to Tebow. Tebow gains the blue line, trying to force her way through. Shot turned aside by Bassett, recovered by Koo. but poked away by, I think, Hamlin. Pass to the middle to Morton. Morton sends a pass out to the wing to Comella. Comella weaves around one, weaves around another. Long shot gets caught up in the skates of Lackey. Backhand pass goes back to Comella, now to the middle, broken up and kicked through and cleared out, taken by Griffin. Griffin sends it up the line to Morton. Morton loses the puck as it ricochets over to Davis. Davis passes up for Koo. Koo trying to force her way through. The attempted clear does get to Morton as they continue scrumming, and it's taken by Hamlin. Hamlin pass gets to Comella. Comella trying to weave her way through, gets tangled up. Rosetto tries to clear it, but it's taken by Mall. Mall sends it off the back wall, and it's taken out the back by Lackey. Lackey's pass intercepted by Mall, but she couldn't make an attack with it. The pass goes back to Griffin, now up to Comella. Comella, long shot, glove save by Carew Lyons. A very impressive outing by Rosie Carew Lyons. Again, yes, she's given up 3 goals, but, you know, the number of quality shots Wellesley's gotten on net, this deficit could be a lot worse for Brookline, let's put it that way. And hats off also to the freshman netminder for Wellesley, Tess Bassett. She's made a couple of really nice saves today as well, as this shot from Prahl goes high. Poked forward by Pace, and Janowski pushes it further. Taken by number 14, Margaret Redgate, but it continues to ricochet through the neutral zone. Now pushed to the Brookline end. Around the corner. It's taken now by Prahl. Prahl's shot kicked aside by Chin. Sent off the boards. Recovered by Prahl. Slap shot save. Rebound over the top of the net. Lindquist almost had a good putback there, but just a little high, and it went off the top of the netting after a hard slap shot from Mia Prahl. Off the boards and into the Wellesley end, where it's chased down by Prahl. Prahl pushes it into the neutral zone, where it ricochets over to Lindquist. Lindquist gains the blue line, passes it back to Ween, gets away from her. Slap shot from Prahl, misses wide. Now Brookline pushes it back out to the neutral zone. It's a race to the puck, won by Prahl. Prahl comes around, has a bit of an opening, going end to end, and launches it to the back wall as Wellesley made a change. Long pass up to Tebow. Tebow sends it into the Wellesley end as Brookline makes a change. Race for the puck. Mall gets there first. Mall turns around along the back. Now pass up. Finds McGraw. McGraw gains the blue line. Pass goes back to Hamburger. Hamburger almost had an opening there, but couldn't keep the puck. It's taken away by Chin. Now Koo passes up, finds Davis. Davis lost it, poked away by O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan weaves around one, but couldn't weave around another as Koo keeps it in the attack end, but it is recovered by McDonough. Pass up to McGraw. McGraw gains the blue line, lifts it down to the Brookline end, and it's chased down by Chin. Chin pass up to, I believe, Davis. Now that pass knocked away. Taken by Hamlin, pushed down to the corner. Lackey gets there first and knocks it around the corner, taken by Janowski. Pass goes through, but Tebow couldn't control it, and it's taken by McDonough. Pass up off the skates. Now sent back by Lackey, taken by Tebow. Tebow weaves around one defender. It's a 2-on-1 rush. Tebow comes long, shot sails high. Rebound chased down by Izzy Pace. Pace trying to force it around the back, but it's taken away by Morton. Sent off the boards and ricochets into the neutral zone. It's taken back by Tebow, who gains the blue line. Tebow tries to get a backhand pass off. Brookline still trying to keep with the puck, but it's kicked back into the neutral zone where it's controlled by Chin. Comella now skating with it. Weaving around. Shot is blocked by Hauser. Taken back by Pace, knocked away from Pace. Brookline running a 4-forward formation here, almost like a power play unit, trying to get some offense going. Redgate pushes it, but it's taken by Pace. Pace passes across to Tebow. Tebow weaving around, poke check, knocks it loose by Griffin. Tebow backhands it over to Janowski. Janowski weaving around, coming across, tries a shot, but it gets tangled up, and it's taken back by Comella. Empty net for Brookline at some pretty bad timing, but Comella just launches it into the Brookline end. Brookline's got less than a minute. They've got to make some kind of an approach. Lackey sends it up, misses Hughes, taken back, long shot. Empty netter just misses wide, but it's being chased down by Thomas. Thomas coming around the back. But Hauser takes it away, but it's recovered by Lindquist, knocked loose. Shot by McDonough is blocked. Brookline gets it back out to the neutral zone, but they are running out of clock here. As Prahl playing the stall game around the back. It's knocked back around the corner. Being chased after. Hawkins gets there, sends one to the middle. Too much traffic. And Wellesley trying to clear it again. Lindquist lifts it out to the neutral zone. Hughes fighting for it. It's recovered by Ween. Shot blocked by Lackey. Sent into the corner. And that will be the final buzzer. The Wellesley High Raiders secure the victory on the road here at Walter Brown and improve to 9-5-2 on the season. Brookline puts up a valiant fight against a team 20 spots higher than them in the power rankings, but ultimately falls to 3-14 on the year. Summing up the scoring for this one, Julia Janowski scored the first goal of the game for Brookline back in the first period, but then 40 seconds later, Wellesley tied it up on a goal by Captain Rory Morton. And then later in that first period, a power play goal by Emery McGraw, assisted by Mia Prahl, gave Wellesley a lead they would never relinquish. In the second period, the last goal of the game was scored as Caitlin Hamburger put one home on the rebound, assisted once again by Prahl. And that would leave us with our final score. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. If you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams, including all home games for Brookline girls and boys hockey here at Walter Brown here in the home stretch of the winter season. Be sure to stay tuned for those. Subscribing can help. Thank you to all those who kept the vibes good in the live chat. Last couple of notes from Amy Lyons. Great save, Rozzy, on the breakaway, and great game. It was a good game. You know, Brookline may have lost, but they put up a strong fight against a team that on paper looked much stronger than them. Again, 20 spots difference in the power rankings, but Brookline made this a very respectable game. If there's anything folks would like to say after the live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. Also go down below to the description section of the video where you can find all the information you need about our local charity Spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation. Find out how you can contribute to the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School or to any of the other great grants and initiatives that they have going with that foundation throughout the Brookline community. If you check out the bottom right corner of your screen, you'll see the URL to my personal website, jessesports.com. You can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide for various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Below that, my email address, jgms88@gmail.com. You can email me directly with any questions or requests you may have. And below that, the URL to my Instagram account, instagram.com/jgms88. Follow me on Instagram, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that is going to do it. Wellesley 3, Brookline 1. From Walter Brown Arena, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.